Welcome to Strike Back Weekly. This is where I talk about games and nerdy stuff in general. But this week was E3, so I'm going to go over my E3 wrap up. Because what kind of game journalist YouTube guy would I be if I didn't do that? So here we go. Phil Spencer kicked off the Microsoft press conference by confirming that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare DLC is coming first to Xbox. The trailer showed soldiers in Seoul, South Korea, who are being attacked. We see the future tech in use as a soldier jumps from great heights, then uses boosters to slow down their descent. Other future tech we see is a soldier in a large armor suit, kind of like a big Iron Man, a spider tank, a pulse that shows enemies behind cover, and swarming drones. Also, a grenade with variable effects. Microsoft announced Halo the Master Chief Collection, a single disc collection of Halo featuring Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4, which is out on November 11th for $59.99. It also serves as an introduction to Halo 5 Guardians, which includes access to the upcoming title's multiplayer beta. All games will run at 60 frames per second in 1080p and include all of these games' representative DLC. The collection also has a 4,000 achievement score, 1,000 per title, some of which mirror those in the original titles, as well as some new ones. The collection also features the full digital series Halo Nightfall, which tells the story leading up to Halo 5. Speaking of Halo 5 Guardians, we got a trailer for Halo 5, which didn't really give us any details, but did show us part of the multiplayer, which was confirmed to run at 60 frames per second. A new Fable got announced called Fable Legends. The gameplay trailer showed a new hub town where friends can meet up and then go on quests together. In this game, players can also be the villain. When playing the villain, you are able to place enemies, traps, or spells on the battlefield, or tell other enemies to charge the heroes. A new Tomb Raider was announced called Rise of the Tomb Raider. The trailer shows Laura, who seems to be struggling with the aftermath of her trials in the first game as she's having a therapy session. Crystal Dynamics wants to bring the Lara Croft story to the Tomb Raider monocle than in the first game. We got to see the first demo of Assassin's Creed Unity, and it introduces the new cooperative 4-player campaign. The demo shows 4 players working together to kill guards and hone in on their target. The name Assassin's Creed Unity makes a lot more sense now that the focus is on 4-player cooperative play. A Phantom Dust reboot is coming to Xbox One. The original game was released a decade ago. I don't actually remember this game, but people seem to be pretty crazy about it, so there you go. It allows players to build decks of cards, representative attacks, and other moves, which could then be pulled into battle in a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, you can tell it was a decade ago because they're using cards. The team from CD Projekt Red took the stage to talk about The Witcher 3. The demo starts about 10 hours into the game when Ciri's hero Geralt, sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, is hunting a griffin. He notices a griffin hiding in a bush and shoots him with a bolt. The creature takes off, but he tracks it across the countryside, which he is attacked by a bunch of bandits. They said this is a good example of how quests in The Witcher 3 can sometimes intersect. If you're a fan of Crackdown, then you'll be happy to know a new game titled Crackdown is headed exclusively to Xbox One. The trailer features a classic narrator over 3 operatives launching a strike against the leader of the Los Muertos gang in the top floor of a skyscraper. Crackdown will feature co-op play on dedicated servers. And original Crackdown 1 developer Dave Jones is reuniting to the franchise to head the Microsoft Studios team. Microsoft shared some new Forza Horizon 2 details, which include a release date of September 30th. Forza Horizon 2 will run at 30 frames per second in full 1080p. The game also features open world driver support and 1,000 playable driver clubs. They announced that the legendary 60-mile Nuremberg track had been recreated in Forza 5 and is available for download for free. Well, now let's move on to Sony. They had a good press conference. It went about almost 2 hours, I would say, and started just about maybe a minute or two late, which was kind of weird. And they were the last press conference of the day on day one of E3. And so let's get right into the highlights of them, huh? You might have heard about something called Project Beast. Nobody was really sure if it was a real thing or not, but it turns out it is a real thing and it has a name, and that name is Bloodborne. Coming in 2015 for the PS4, the title from the Dark Souls developer is filled with monsters and possibly monster hunting. The trailer didn't give out too many details, but possibly you should expect lots of blood and possibly lots of death. Fans of Infamous Second Son will be happy to know that a new standalone DLC for Infamous Second Son called First Light was announced. The DLC seems to focus on a character named Finch, locked up in prison for superpowered humans. Infamous First Light will be available in August, so mark that in your calendars. If you're a fan of Sackboy, then you'll be happy to know that Little Big Planet 3 is on the way. The demo that Sony showed us was a little rough around the edges, but still looked good and fun. Sackboy has brought some friends with him this time. Oddsack, a dog-like companion who can jump off walls. Toggle, a bigger companion who can move heavy objects and become small and run through small spaces. And Swoop, who is a flying friend who can reach new areas and hit buttons that other guys can't. You can have 4-player fun this November with Little Big Planet 4 comes to PlayStation 4. Ooh, that was a lot of 4s in there. And besides that, the game looks good, but they also probably won the trophy for cutest game award. I mean, seriously, watch this trailer. So cute. So cute. Ready at Dawn showed off a new demo of the Order 1886 that played Glehan against a ferocious new enemy. The ghoulish foe looked like a zombie at first glance, but soon starts transforming into a werewolf-like beast. The game then seamlessly shifts the gameplay, and a HUD appeared with the gun icon and ammo count as Bloodhood starts running backwards and shooting at the pursuing enemy. A second later, the monster seizes him and throws him through a window. Like previous looks at the Order 1886, Ready at Dawn's E3 demo featured impressive new visual graphics and a seamless blend of cinematic cutscenes and gameplay. Tim Schafer's classic point-and-click adventure game Grim Fandango is getting an HD remake for the PS4 and Vita. Never heard the game, but people went absolutely crazy for it if you were watching the live stream or if you were there. An arrangement with Disney has brought the 1998 game back from the dead. Fans frequently requested the HD update of Grim Fandango, and they got their wish, which comes as a complete surprise to pretty much everybody in attendance. Another surprise was a powerful CGI trailer for Dead Island 2, the sequel that is being developed by Yager and published by Deep Silver, who is taking a more light-hearted approach this time. It begins with the California jogger enjoying a run. As he runs, he's completely oblivious to the chaos that's breaking out behind him, as a woman on roller skates is mobbed by zombies. A man emerges from a shop but is attacked by zombies. A helicopter crashes into a bigger mob of zombies. The jogger then comes to a realization that he's transforming too. His run is cut short by an armored vehicle that crashes into him, clipping the runner off at the ankles. A passenger jumps out and takes his shoes, and then they're off to slay more zombies. Sony says the game will have a 30-day exclusive beta on the PS4, and that the PlayStation players will also get access to an exclusive character. No Man's Sky will be playable on the PlayStation 4 in addition to its formerly announced appearance on the PC. The demo of the game showed that players moving through an alien world filled with jungles and dinosaurs, and then jumping into his or her ship and launching into space. The ship joins up with other ships and engages in combat through a section of space filled with other ships and asteroids. Then the ship heads down onto another planet and flies through desert-like canyons. Hello Game Sean Murray took the stage after to talk about his team's upcoming game and said that no two players' beginning worlds would be the same in No Man's Sky's generated universe. We all knew The Last of Us was coming to the PS4, but we hadn't got a release date yet. That has changed as The Last of Us Remastered will be available on July 29th. It will also include the Left Behind DLC. So if you're looking forward to that game, or haven't played it yet, you can get it on the PS4. I haven't played it yet, but I am waiting for when I do upgrade to the PS4, I will get it then, because I hear it's really great. To end Sony's press conference, Naughty Dog took the stage to show some footage from the new Uncharted and revealed its name. The possible last game in the series is called Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and is coming in 2015. The trailer showed Nathan Drake waking up, presumably from having been passed out in a tropical setting. A voiceover is heard with the dialogue between Drake and Sully discussing one last job, which was a sure thing. Sully said there's no such thing as a sure thing, but agreed to join Drake anyways. The trailer ended with Nathan Drake walking into the jungle as the camera panned to show human-sized cages hanging from the trees. It looked really amazing, as you would expect the graphics to look, and the game will be out next year sometime. And now let's finish with Nintendo, who didn't have their traditional press conference. They did what they were calling the Nintendo Digital Event, and I guess it worked, kind of, because they didn't really have a whole lot of gameplay to show, so it worked for them. I didn't think they were going to pull off, but it worked for them. I can't see Sony or Microsoft trying to do one of these things, though, because it wouldn't work for them, but it worked for Nintendo. Nintendo revealed a brand new Legend of Zelda game for the Wii U. Zelda mastermind Eiji Yamama explained that the game would be a wide open world, opposed to past games in the series. The video shows a sprawling landscape with mountains and fields, while Link is shown atop a horse in a peaceful land. The piece is ended by a laser blasting spider-like creature who starts to chase him down. Link shoots off some fire arrows to slow the creature down, and then takes out a special glowing blue arrow to finish it off. The new Legend of Zelda is currently slated for a 2015 release. Platinum Games announced the Wii U exclusive Bayonetta II, but that's not all. The first Bayonetta will be included with every copy of Bayonetta 2, and include special costumes for the lead character based on Link, Samus, and Princess Peach. Platinum did not reveal the exact date, but confirmed that Bayonetta 2 would be released in October sometime. Nintendo had revealed Yarn Yoshi last year, but we got some new details about the game, which is now titled Yoshi's Woolly World. Much like Kirby's Epic Yarn, everything is made out of yarn. Unlike Kirby, however, Yoshi's elements of the environment and enemies are not made of yarn, but instead are knitted and stuffed. Yoshi uses his tongue to unravel enemies and to unravel elements of the environment to expose secrets. He also collects gems instead of coins, but he still eats enemies and makes yarn eggs out of them. The game gives you an opportunity to play with a friend as a red Yarn Yoshi. Players can eat each other in combat, or they can eat each other to relocate one another to out-of-reach platforms. Yoshi's Woolly World is coming to Wii U in 2015. Nintendo announced that it's bringing its popular Mii characters to Super Smash Bros. As playable characters. Players can choose between one of 3 different fighting styles for their Mii. The Brawler, who favors hand-to-hand combat, who wears gloves and heavy boots. The Sword Fighter, who wears cuff boots and uses a blade weapon for quick slash attacks. And the Gunner, who is equipped with an arm cannon and has an overall high-tech look. Nintendo wanted to make sure that their characters weren't just animated ragdolls. They also have a wide variety of moves that players can draw from after selecting one of the 3 classes, providing further customization options. If you played Super Mario 3D, then you're probably familiar with Captain Toad. In Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, you'll take control of Toad once again on his adventures that focus on rotating the small environment to observe it from multiple perspectives. The game will be out in 2015. Ever want to make your own level on Mario? Well, now you can thanks to a Wii U game called Mario Maker. In a series of clips, we see players use the editor to add blocks and enemies. The game was shown in a quick trailer featuring Mario running along the familiar level, familiar until he runs into an uncharacteristically tall piranha plant. At this point, the player zips into editor mode, grabs the edge of the pipe, and shrinks it into a more appropriate size. Players will be able to swap between the game's classic 8-bit presentation and the new Super Mario Bros. Art style. It's well known that Link is a playable character in Hyrule Warriors. The new trailer showed that Impa would also be a playable character. But that's not all. Nintendo also revealed that Minda and Princess Zelda would also be playable characters in the game. Hyrule Warriors is coming to Wii U on September 26th. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I pretty much just gave you the main highlights of everything. There was so much that happened in 2 days. And especially on Wednesday and Thursday, other stuff came out. There's just so much to cover. But yeah, I just hit the highlights, the main parts, and there's just tons of stuff. Make sure you follow me on Twitter for more stuff that comes out just during the week normally. Follow me on Instagram for other stuff that comes out normally too. And leave a comment, like and subscribe, and tell me what you think. Thanks guys. Make sure you watch next week where stuff will be back to normal.